One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swan.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
Emma Duff, Nikki Corbett, are we on the air? Bobby Westendorf, Kelsey Rogers, and Anna. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us on Clan TV for a special Tuesday night edition of GNAC Women's Basketball. I'm Steve Frost, sitting in for Howard Samura from VarsityLetters.ca, bringing you all the action live from Burnaby Mountain. SFU kept its postseason hopes alive with an overtime victory last Saturday, and tonight they will get a chance to inch closer to their goal with a win against Western Washington. The Vikings currently hold the sixth and final playoff spot in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Make no mistake, tonight is a must-win game for Simon Fraser University. We will have more on the visitors in a moment, but first let's take a closer look at the Clan and its recent overtime victory over Central Washington. SFU scraped and battled the Wildcats for 40 minutes and then absolutely crushed them in overtime to come away with an 85-73 victory. SFU built a lead as large as 16 points in the third quarter, but the Wildcats fought back and went ahead with a minute left in the game. 3 free throws by freshman guard Kendall Sands restored a 2-point SFU lead, but a bucket by Central Washington's Taylor Baird tied the game with 29 seconds left and sent the teams to overtime. The Clan went on a 15-2 run to open the extra session and outscored Central Washington 19-7 in those 5 minutes to secure the win. Sophomore guard Tia Sang scored a career-high 22 points, with 8 coming in overtime. She was 7 of 9 from the field and an incredible 6 of 7 on 3-pointers. She also grabbed 4 boards and had 2 steals in 35 minutes. Redshirt freshman Claudia Hart had 13 points on 3 of 6 shooting and was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Jessica Jones and Sophie Swant scored 12 points each, with Swant adding 7 rebounds and 7 steals, and she filed out of the game in regulation with a few minutes to go. Taylor Drynan added 11 points and picked up 7 assists in 41 minutes of action. She is the straw that stirs the Clan. With the win, SFU is now 12-14 overall. That is the same record as the visiting Vikings. SFU is 7-11 in the GNAC. Tonight, the team will play a must-win game against border rival Western Washington in hopes of earning a postseason conference tournament bid that will be at Alaska Anchorage. Now let's take a look at the Vikings. Last week, Western Washington earned a split at home in Carver Gym. The Vikings handed Central Washington a 67-59 loss on Thursday, with senior forward Hannah Stepanovic scoring a game-high 19 points. 2 nights later, Western Washington freshman guard Emma Duff helped force overtime with a game-tying 3-pointer late in regulation, but Northwest Nazarene ultimately came away with a 78-76 win. The Vikings have a 12-14 overall record this season. They are 8-10 in league play, winning 5 of their last 7 games. Earlier this season, on November 28th, Western Washington was victorious against SFU, winning 74-60 in Bellingham. In that game, Jackson, Sands, Sang, and Swant all scored in double digits. The key players for Western Washington are Hannah Stepanovich, Gracie Castaneda, and Anna Schweck. We are coming to you live from the West Gym here at Simon Fraser University, and we're getting set for tonight's opening game, a must-win contest for Simon Fraser. But first, we will go to the national anthems. You're watching Clan TV live from the West Gym. Started here in the West Gym. Simon Fraser University fighting for their playoff life in a must-win situation against Western Washington. 5 teams have clinched playoff spots in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Those teams are Alaska Anchorage, Northwest Nazarene, Seattle Pacific, Montana State, Billings, and Central Washington. There are 4 teams fighting for the 6th and final playoff spot. Simon Fraser is tied with Concordia and Western Oregon with 7-11 records. All 3 teams are chasing Western Washington, who holds down currently the 6th spot with an 8-10 record. Now starting for Simon Fraser University will be Tia Sands, one of the guards who was outstanding in the last game against Central Washington. She is joined in the back court with Taylor Drynan out of Spokane, Washington, and Gonzaga Prep. She is a 5'7" sophomore. Up front we have at center number 12, Taylor Jackson, a 6'3" junior from Surrey and Brookswood. And out of North Vancouver, there is the engine of the clan, number 21, Sophie Swant, out of Argyle. And the final starter for Simon Fraser is number 33, Jessica Jones, a shooting guard out of Richmond and McMath. She is in her first season, a redshirt freshman for Simon Fraser. Now the starters for Western Washington are number 3, Lexi Bland, a guard, a 5'6" sophomore. She's joined by number 22, Gracie Castaneda, another guard, a 5'8" freshman. Number 15 is Hannah Stepanovic. She is a 6'1" senior from St. Louis, Montana. And number 10 is Danny Iwami, a 5'7" sophomore. She transferred from Hawaii Pacific. She's a 5'7" guard as well. And number 44 is Anna Shawecki, 6'1" sophomore, also a transfer from Colorado Springs. Simon Fraser wins the tip, and we're underway here in the West Gym. Sang to Jones. Simon Fraser with a short bench. A well-documented story as Dryden goes inside to Taylor Jackson, and she comes up with the layup off the glass to give Simon Fraser the first basket of the game. Now let's take a look at Western Washington. That is number 10, Iwami, who is on the perimeter driving right side and turned the ball over. Simon Fraser comes racing back. Jessica Jones to Sang. She was being guarded by Lexi Bland, and it kind of slipped out of her hands and went out of bounds, and Western Washington will get the ball back for their second offensive possession. As we take a look at the replay of the first basket, Swant back to live action. There's Jackson putting it in, and Western Washington turned the ball over on their second possession. So with 1 minute gone in this contest, Simon Fraser has stopped the Vikings twice. Now the Vikings are a pretty good defensive team. They're holding opponents to a under 40% field goal percentage. That's pretty good. Swant driving into the heart of the defense, misses the shot, and back come the Vikings quickly. On the outside is Gracie Castaneda. She misses her shot, but the rebound is grabbed by Anna Shwecki, and she puts it in off the glass to tie this game early. Dryden. Jones, she'll put up the three-pointer. She can shoot it, and it goes off the top of the backboard on the high miss, and the foul's called underneath on Tia Sang, so Western Washington will take over. So Western Washington averaging 66 points per game. That's 3 points fewer than Simon Fraser. They go inside to the Vikings. Oh, there's a three-pointer put up, and it's missed. Rebound comes down, and it's Stepanovic who grabs it off the miss from Iwami. And Tia Sang picks up her second personal foul. So Kendall Sands, the freshman, jumps up, and she will enter the game, seeing her first action tonight. Sands is a freshman out of Coquitlam and Charles Best. First free throw shot is good. And it's 5-2 for the Vikings. Swant hands off to Jones. Simon Fraser on the outside. Sands now to Jackson. There was the cutter, didn't see her. And Swant, now she'll drive inside. Finds, looking for Jackson inside, but it was blocked by Shawecki. She got her hand on it, got a deflection, almost got the steal. Jackson recovered. And we have a whistle blown to get a restart. Simon Fraser will have possession with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Swant went for the inbounds pass. That's stripped by Stevanovic. Finds number 22, Gracie Castaneda. She makes the basket and draws the contact. So Drynan picks up her first personal foul. Correction, there was no basket there. So the score remains 5-2 for the Vikings. 6-2 now after that free throw by Castaneda. Swant will sit down after the turnover on the inbounds pass, and Claudia Hart comes into the game for Simon Fraser. She is a freshman forward out of North Vancouver and Seacove Secondary. She redshirted for the SFU last year. Coached in high school by former Clan basketball player Britt Parker. So here we go, Simon Fraser's ball. Drynan being double teamed on the full court pressure. Gets it back to Hart, and we have a 10-second violation. So Simon Fraser with yet another turnover here early in the game. Here comes the Vikings. And Iwami gives it to 44, Shawecki, and she puts up the basket. That's good. Simon Fraser now finds himself in a big hole at 9-2 here, 3 minutes into this game. Drynan, wide open three-pointer. She'll take it, and she nails it. And Simon Fraser needed that badly. Drynan is a 33% three-point shooter for Simon Fraser, averaging 7.5 points per game. Again, they go inside this time to Stepanovic. She drives, puts up a little left-hander, off the glass, misses, and Jones comes back with the rebound and the ball. Sands, top of the key, drives, gives back to Jones. They'll go around the horn. Drynan now. Back to Sands. She can hit a three-pointer from there. She drives, puts up a left-handed scoop shot and makes it. Draws contact, no foul. Beautiful driving basket by Kendall Sands. Sands, oh, a nice inside handoff by Stevanovic to Shawecki for the basket by the Vikings. Just to finish my thought, Kendall Sands was expected to redshirt this year for Simon Fraser, but because of injuries and a shortage of players, she is playing and playing a lot and playing very well. Drynan looking for Sands on the outside, couldn't find her. A lot of contact on the outside on that three-point arc. No foul call. That is a typical SFU Western Washington game. It is physical. These two teams are rivals. They've been rivals for a very long time. They do not like each other. Number 3 is Bland. She's, oh, a nice little roll off the pick and roll by Stevanovic. She got the ball, and there's contact underneath and a whistle. And it looks like Stevanovic is going to be called for the foul. So that's a turnover for her on that offensive possession. And checking in is number 34, Kelsey Rogers. So Stepanovic will sit down. 11-7 is the score. Drynan drives into the paint, gives it to Swant, back outside to Jones for a three-pointer. That goes off the front of the rim, and back come the Vikings. Number 22 is Gracie Castaneda. She draws contact, and there's both players on the ground rolling around. Finally, there's a whistle. They're going to go to the possession arrow on that one, so no foul. And there's going to be a timeout here. with 4:43 to go in the first quarter. As we look at that replay, Castaneda just muffed that one and went off her leg, and Jones grabbed it. She dove on the ball, did Castaneda, and it's a possession in favor of Western Washington. We'll take a timeout. You're watching SFU women's basketball on Clan TV.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir. I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
So we're back live here in the West Gym. Simon Fraser and Western Washington in a must-win game for SFU. As you take a look at the GNAC Women's Basketball Conference standings, there are the 5 teams that have clinched the first 5 playoff berths. Western Washington is in the number 6 spot with an 8-10 record. Simon Fraser, Concordia, and Western Oregon all with 7-11 records. Simon Fraser needs to win tonight. That is a must. And then they have to win Thursday at home against Montana State Billings. Now, Western Washington will play MSUB on Saturday. So Vikings with possession of the ball. The inbound. Checked in now for the Vikings is number 23, Emma Duff. Bland on their perimeter. Looking for Rogers inside. Nope. Now it's Rogers in the paint, being guarded by Hart. She puts up a shot, misses. Rebound is Jones. Back comes Simon Fraser. Swant. Sands thought about it. Then went back to Hart. She drives into the paint, puts up a shot, misses. Rebound is grabbed by Shawecki. .7-11 the score. Rogers kicks it back outside and going into the paint. Oh, and there's a turnover again from Castaneda. Drynan grabs it. Hart thought about a 3, then drives into the heart of the defense, puts up a left-handed underhand shot, and the rebound is grabbed by the Vikings, and here they come. Bland into the paint, turns, and she's called on the travel on that. She put both feet down in the paint, took a step, and the officials whistled that. And now checking in for the Vikings is number 10, Danny Iwami, who started this game, and Castaneda is going to take a seat. Swant goes inside, finds Jones, misses, grabs her own rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds and into touch by Iwami. Simon Fraser will get a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock, down by 4. Swant to Jones. Back to Swant, she'll take that 3, makes it with the assist to Jones, and now it's a 1-point game for the Clan. That was Swant's first basket of this game, and there's some battle underneath. Rogers just hip checks Swant, no call. 3-pointer by the Vikings goes off the rim and into touch. It'll be Simon Fraser ball. So that was a big concern for Coach Bruce Langford entering this game. There's always a lot of physical battles in the paint when SFU plays Western Washington, and it's rarely called by the officials. Now here's the 3-point shot from Swant. That was all net. That pulled Simon Fraser to within 1. So we'll take a look for in the paint. The Vikings forwards do a great job of making contact and moving players out of the paint area. There's Swant driving, puts up a shot, draws the foul. I think that's going to go against number 33, Bobby Westendorf. There's Swant putting up the shot. She makes her first free throw to to draw the clan even as Taylor Jackson comes back in for Hart. And number 25, Nikki Corbett, a 6'2 junior, comes in for the Vikings. Swant makes the second free throw to give Simon Fraser the lead. Iwami. Westendorf now around the outside, back inside to Rogers. She puts up a right-handed shot, missed. Rebound is grabbed by the Vikings and kicked back out. Around the perimeter, now they drive into the paint. Again out to Bland. Being guarded by Sands. Rogers now against Jackson. Turns back to the basket, now gives it out. Three-point shot is put up, and that is good by number 33, Bobby Westendorf. Westendorf is a 30% three-point shooter. Swant gives it to Sands. She can nail the three, but she's guarded closely. Now Jones at the top to Swant. Drives into the paint, puts up a right-handed runner. Rebound is grabbed by Jackson. She misses on the layup, and back come the Vikings. Iwami on the perimeter. 22 is Castaneda. Back to Bland. Battle underneath. Rogers being guarded by Jackson. Rebound comes down, and Kendall Sands grabs it and gives it to the point guard, Drynan. Drynan to Swant. Thought about it. Now gives it to Drynan for the three-pointer. So Swant thought about going inside to Jackson. Changed her mind when Drynan was left wide open on the perimeter, and she nailed the shot, did Taylor Drynan. Now we're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Simon Fraser holding a 1-point lead. Rogers to the outside. Westendorf with the ball to Bland. Thought about taking a little jumper, but didn't. Iwami now puts up a three, guarded by Jackson, misses, and Jones comes down with it, and quickly comes Simon Fraser. Jones into the middle. Gives it to Swant, the trailer. Now on the outside to Sands. Drives left-handed. Puts up a left-handed layup with her right. She switched to left-right and put up a right-handed scoop. Got the basket, got the contact. So a heads-up play by Kendall Sands. Foul is going against number 22, Gracie Castaneda. That's her first personal foul. Rogers sits down, as does Westendorf. 44 is Anna Schwecke back into the game. Schwecke checks in. She's 3 of 3 on the offensive end with 6 points to lead the Vikings. 10 is Iwami. 21 seconds to go. They'll hold for last shot. Nicole Vanderham and her heavily bandaged left wrist is back into the game. She'll play limited minutes in this contest. Almost a turnover. Oh, almost a turnover there just inside the three-point line. But Sophie Swant is going to get called with a reaching foul with 6.7 seconds to go in the quarter. Vanderham guards the inbounder. Now it's Jackson on the perimeter. Oh, and we've got an illegal screen called underneath on the Vikings' Danny Iwami. So that's what we talked about early on, is the Vikings are very physical underneath in the paint. And that one time it cost them a turnover on that offensive possession in the last shot. Now Tia Sang is checking in for Nicole Vanderhelm. And Simon Fraser, 3.3 seconds to go. A long pass, grabbed by Sands, keeps it in bounds, and that should run out the clock. There is a last second heave by Gracie Castaneda, no relation to George. That's not her uncle or anything, that's Gracie Castaneda. So there you go, the first quarter is in the books. Simon Fraser leading 18-14. We'll take a break. You're watching Clan TV live from the West Gym.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
We're back live here from the West Gym. Simon Fraser with a 4-point lead as we get the second quarter underway. So far the leading scorer for Simon Fraser is Taylor Drynan with 6 points on 2 of 2 3-point shooting. Kendall Sands with 5 and Sophie Swant with 5. The leading scorer for the Vikings is Anna Shawecki, number 44 on your screen. Simon Fraser on offense. Swant kicks out. Now around the horns. Jones back to Swant at the 3-point line. Thought about it. Went to drive. Now to Jones. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Jackson. She bobbles the ball, gives it to Drynan, who misses the 3, and the rebound is grabbed by number 10, Danny Iwami. And here she comes. Puts up a shot off the glass. Sands knocks the ball out of bounds, going for that rebound, and the Vikings will retain possession. Shawecki with the ball on the outside. Looks like the Vikings have all 5 starters in the game to start the second quarter. And Simon Fraser has drawn another foul underneath. Sophie Swant and Anna Shawecki had contact underneath. The foul is called against number 44, Shawecki. And Simon Fraser will go back on the offensive possession with the turnover on that foul. Drynan to Jones, inside to Swant, who's fired up for this game. She is the emotional leader of this Clan team. Jackson was open underneath, and now she gets the ball from Jones, puts up a right-hander. Nice little move as she took a bounce and a step and put it to her right rather than going to her left. So Taylor Jackson needs to be a factor in this game at both ends of the floor. There's a physical screen on Drynan there, as we saw at the top of the 3-point line. Number 22 is Castaneda with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Gave up her dribble, and Swant grabbed it, and the possession arrow is in favor of the Vikings. As 23, Emma Duff checks back in for the second time in this game, and number 10, Danny Iwami, sits down. 7 seconds on the shot clock on this inbound pass. They go inside and underneath to Shawecki, and the second shot and third shot is finally good after grabbing the offensive boards. So the Clan made her earn that. Drynan drives to her left, being guarded by 2 players. Now Swant with a 3-pointer, nails it, and Sophie Swant is feeling it here in the first half. She is fired up. She loves physical games. She loves to be challenged. She's a competitor. Stepanovic, a little 15-footer misses. Taylor Jackson comes down with the basket on that board, and Simon Fraser brings the ball back up court with 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Sands to Swant, inside to Jackson. She was a nice little turnaround shot underneath. That was a beautiful move, a quick, no hesitation move by Taylor Jackson. And that gives Simon Fraser a 25-16 lead as we take a look at that little right-handed jumper going against Shawecki. So we'll take a break here in the West Gym. Simon Fraser leading 25-16. You're watching SFU Women's Basketball on Clan TV.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
Just a reminder, today's game is live streamed on YouTube, and you can watch it at athletics.sfu.ca/live. And this game will also be available on demand at athletics.sfu.ca/on-demand. The Vikings' three-point shot is up, in and out. Rebound grabbed by Claudia Hart, who was in this game for Sophie Swan. Drynan at the top. Gives it to the Hart, drives into the paint, puts up a little jumper. She can make it, but misses. That shot is within her repertoire. And the Vikings grab the rebound and are on the offensive end now. Bland, who hasn't been a factor offensively, gives it to Castanea. Back outside to Duff, now back to Bland. Drives to her right, gives a little handoff to Anna Shawecki for the basket, and that was a nice play by Bland. Bland averages 7 points per game for the Vikings. Jones, one of the leading scorers for SFU. She averages almost 10 points a game. Jackson gives it out to Sands. Wide open three, misses. Hart goes up for it and is knocked, and that ball goes out of bounds off the hands of a Viking player. As checking back in for the Vikings is Kelsey Rogers, number 34. And she came in along with 23, I believe, Emma Duff. Sophie Swan will come in for Simon Fraser as Coach Bruce Langford counters that move, and Jessica Jones will get a rest. Trinan outside to Sands, drives to the middle. Jones or Hart rather, gives it to Swan on the little bounce pass. Now it's to Hart. Lots of time on the shot clock, there's no hurry. Drynan drives to her left, puts up a left-handed layup. Nicely done, Taylor Drynan. Simon Fraser now with a 27-18 lead. At one point, the Vikings were up 11-7 in this game. Now on the outside is Amanda Lance. I think it was a Lance who checked into the game. There's a three-point shot, missed by Emma Duff, but the Vikings come up with a rebound, and there's a turnover as Rogers went cross-court. That was intercepted by Sands. She goes full court with a fast break two-pointer, and Simon Fraser now out in front 29-18 with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. Rogers back outside, now they go inside to Shwecki. She puts up a shot, misses. Claudia Hart with the rebound. Sands goes full court to Swan. Now looks for the trailer. Drynan drives to her left. Thought about a shot, bounce pass to Taylor Jackson. She's met with the body foul by number 34, Kelsey Rogers. And Taylor Jackson, after we take a look at the replay, and the Kendall Sands picking off that cross-court pass and going coast to coast. Great heads-up play by the freshman out of Charles Best and Coquitlam. Her mother, Sue Sands, is a well-known coach in the British Columbia Lower Mainland youth basketball leagues. So checking in for the Vikings is number 3, Bland, who started this game. Kayla Jackson is at the free throw line for Simon Fraser. And Jackson, the 76% free throw shooter, makes her first. Simon Fraser is the top free throw shooting team in the GNAC. And right now, in this game here, they are 5 for 5. So Bland will walk the ball up the court. Simon Fraser now inside. Vikings. Rogers misses off the rim. Rebound goes knocked around, and it's finally grabbed by Bland, but she steps out of bounds trying to corral that ball, and Simon Fraser will take over on the turnover. So it is a replay here as we take a look. Dryden with the little left-handed scoop. That's a beautiful shot. She has noticed a couple of times in the first half that left-hand side opens up for her, and she's not afraid to drive and make that shot. Now Jackson on the outside. They go to Hart, drives into the paint, little stop and go, and misses on the right-hander. The rebound's grabbed by Stepanovic. Back come the Vikings. Now a little jumper. That's Shawecki making that shot. And she now has a team-high 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. She's also grabbed 5 rebounds. The Vikings actually are out-rebounding Simon Fraser 14-12 in this game. There's a turnover. Swant went to go inside, and the ball was deflected by Gracie Castaneda, and then she grabbed it herself. And here they come. They go inside to the Vikings. That is number 15, Stepanovic. She makes the basket and cuts the lead down to 9 points with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Dryden almost stripped of the ball by Bland. Now hands off to Jones. Puts up a jumper just inside the three-point line and nails it. Boy, if you're going to take that shot, you want to take it a foot back, and that would be a three-point shot. The Vikings now, 44 is Shawecki underneath. They're looking to try and get her the ball. It's quite physical underneath. Kayla Jackson and Shawecki, as both players are fighting for position. As we take a look at the rebound, there's Jones. Look at her feet, just inside the three-point line. She nails it. Good defensive battle there. Jones guarding Castaneda. There's the shot from Stepanovic. And the Vikings have clawed back into this game here in the late stages of the second half. Jones looking to go inside to Swant. That's picked off by Stepanovic, who's having a terrific game for the Vikings. Now baseline goes the Vikings, and there's contact underneath as Gracie Castaneda drove against Taylor Jackson. And the foul is going to be assessed to SFU's number 13, Claudia Hart. So the Vikings will get a full 30-second shot clock here as they inbound the ball. Iwami back in the game, goes inside. Oh, a nice little drive, and she's fouled as Gracie Castaneda went up for it. And Taylor Jackson went across her arm. As we take a look at the rebound as she drives. And Jackson came from the right side, the help side, and got the contact across the arm. And Castaneda is a 78% free throw shooter, but she misses her first and makes the second. Taylor Dryden will come back for the Clan. Swant goes baseline, it's open, puts a right-hander off the board, grabs her own rebound, and puts up the second shot. Good heads-up play by Sophie Swant. She is fired up, and she is in this game at both ends of the floor. There she is, she's guarding Iwami. Little jumper from Stepanovic. Swant grabs the rebound. 10-point lead for Simon Fraser. Jones goes inside to Hart. Left-hander off the glass is good. And Simon Fraser scores quickly. The threat of the three-point shot on the outside is giving the Vikings some worry, and it's opening up some things inside. Hart on the switch, now guarding Iwami. Around the perimeter go the Vikings to Bland. Fighting for position inside is Schwecki, and there's her shot. It's good off the glass against Taylor Jackson. So Schwecki continues to lead the Vikings with 12 points on 6 of 8, 7 of 9 shooting, make that 14 points. Drynan to Swant on the outside, 16 seconds on the shot clock. Hart. Now to Drynan, to Swant. Turns, finds Claudia Hart wide open for the three, and Hart nails it. Claudia Hart, again, Simon Fraser is dangerous. A number of players, and there's Sophie Swant going for the steal. Deflected the ball out of bounds. A good heads-up play by Swant. She is playing really well in this contest. Swant leading Simon Fraser with 10 points on 3 of 6 shooting. She's also got 3 assists and 2 rebounds. 2 of 2 from threes. There's the shot missed and rebound by Hart, and Simon Fraser will walk the ball back up the court. 30 seconds on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock. Drynan being guarded by Bland. Drynan. Oh, she's been called with a carry on that play, and she was going against Bland, so a turnover there with 15 seconds left in the game. So now the Vikings will likely hold for last shot. Iwami guarded by Swant. There's a high screen coming. Jackson hedges, goes out. Iwami pushing against it. And Jackson steals the ball, gives it to Drynan with 2 seconds. She'll heave a half quarter that is just short. So there you go. There is the first half in the books. Simon Fraser with a 13-point lead. Simon Fraser leading 40-27. Sophie Swant is making her way over. Sophie, a great first half for Simon Fraser. You guys came out fired up.
Well, thank you. But first half doesn't matter. We're coming in 0-0. Third quarter recently has been our worst. So we had to come out, win the first 4, win the second 4, win the fourth, and just win this game because we need to get it taken care of.
So you've mentioned about the third quarters have been difficult for you. What will you do differently coming into the third quarter of this game tonight?
Not letting things spiral. You know, they get easy basket on offense. What are we going to do to adjust? Coming back down, focusing on our scores, taking our shots, not throwing the ball away, just focusing on our basketball and playing our game.
Okay, well, we hope it goes well for you in the third quarter. Congratulations on the first half. Good luck in the second half. There you have it, Sophie Swant, the engine for Simon Fraser, the emotional leader of the clan, the captain. Simon Fraser will have to come out hard in the second half of this game. It is a must-win for Simon Fraser. We are going to take a break here at halftime. Simon Fraser out in front of the Vikings in a must-win game, 40-27. You're watching SFU Women's Basketball on Clan TV.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is tradition. Because year after year, players old and new step onto the court with a unified goal to strive to be the best. It is the belief that maintaining a winning tradition is a competitive battle worth fighting for. I am Sophie Swant, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's basketball team.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I'm Victoria Saunders.
I'm Aaliyah Stahoski. And I'm Kat Murnahan, and today we're showing basketball players how to play softball. Let's go. First, we'll get them to try and catch some fly balls.
Let's go. Grind now, shine later. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Thanks.
Keep your feet moving, girls.
Thanks, coach.
Oh. Well, that wasn't fair.
Michael!
Hey!
On backpedal though. Nice. That was a big throw.
Jumps.
Get it, girl.
This is the peak of my athletic performance right now. I don't have too many of those left.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Oh, dive.
Oh! You want a fence line one?
Yeah. There goes his ACL. Oh! When you catch it, dab.
No.
Hey! Oh, that's a dinger, bud.
That's how it's done. Oh, no!
There you go.
That's for you.
What you got? Oh. That was easy. Easy money! Let's go!
Well, they did an amazing job catching fly balls, but we'll see how they do taking ground ball reps.
Yep, good old day in the ballpark.
Are you ready?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh! Stick with it!
Good recovery.
This ball belongs to Michael.
Nice throw, bud.
Is there a way for this to hurt my shoulder less? Because I feel ligaments tearing right now.
Oh! Look at that!
Ooh! Woo!
Oh!
See what you got, Claudia?
Yes! No! Sorry!
Oh!
No! I'm really bad at this.
You got that. Easy. Oh.
Nice.
Clean grab, girl. And she out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's the bog, guys, I'm telling you. Oh, that's an error.
Woo! There you go, bud.
You are out. Oh my God, is that Derek Jeter?
Dang it!
Nice. Now that they've worked on their defense, we're gonna put them up against me and see if they can hit my fastball.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Here we go. Showtime.
I'm actually scared right now. No, you're fine.
Just tell my mom I love her. And we signed waivers before this, right?
No, I didn't like it.
Dingers all day, every day. Oh! That's okay, girl. You just gotta open your eyes when you swing.
Thank you.
Lord, baby Jesus.
Oh. So far I've swung at every one, haven't I?
You got it! Here, get some contact on it, buddy.
Oh, dirty!
Put that on dingers daily.
Oh!
You gotta do that to me like that. Disrespectful.
Foul.
That was exhilarating.
All right, Oz, here we go, bud. Oh, that's wrong. Give me that. Oh, yeah. Batter, swing. Hitter, batter, let's go. Contact, let's go.
Dinger off you, no problem. Bounce back, get the next one, okay?
Well, thank you, softball girls, for having us at BD Field. We had a lot of fun.
Definitely have an appreciation for how hard it is, and we'll see you next time. For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
Welcome to Caption This. My name is Taylor Jackson. I'll be your host for the evening, along with my co-host, Scamp. So, caption this. I'm going to pick out a picture. It's going to be an action shot. You guys are going to have 10 seconds to come up with the most hilarious and suitable caption. Got it?
Yep,
Sounds great. Go.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
Team 1.
When you regret the shot as you take it.
Funny. Like it. Okay. Team 2.
I just ate cheese and I'm not feeling so good.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, Sophie is lactose intolerant. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that one to Team 2.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yikes. Oh, yikes, eh? Are we ready?
When you think you can dab.
Oh, okay. So, I know I can dab, right?
Our caption is just before you hit a gnarly dab.
Hey, because you're like, almost like you really got to sneeze, right?
You're sucking up.
Hey,
Come on.
okay, I'm gonna have to give it to Team 1 because you guys pretty much said I couldn't dab, and they pretty much said that I was gonna do an amazing dab.
Ooh.
Team 2, what you got?
All right. Jones is saying, "Ew, why is she touching me?"
It's pretty good.
Okay, we're taking defeat. We're asking you, Taylor.
All right. I would say when you're driving into an underground parking garage and you're not sure if the van's going to scrape the top of the bar. But that's just
good.
me.
That's actually good.
Go.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, Team 1. What's it going to be?
Our caption is when someone in that crowd needs a shower.
Team 2.
Sophie, was that you?
Not again.
That's a good one.
Oh, this is
A little tag team. That was so cute.
Yeah, you know, teamwork makes the dream work.
Honestly, I'm gonna give this one to Team 2 because I thought it was really cute how you guys kind of like tag teamed it, you know. Oh, this one.
What am I doing?
Statue of Liberty.
Good job. Look at your face in the back.
Yeah,
I
what
know.
are you doing?
There's so many things going on.
Disgusted.
I won.
Okay.
When Taylor finally stops coughing on a road trip.
Oh.
But why would I be sad?
No, you're happy.
You're
here.
happy.
You're like
bruh.
relieved. You're like
yeah, that's a
This
relief
is like a
face.
look of like.
No, that's
Anyways, okay, Team 2. What's it gonna be?
When Taylor Jackson finally passes her first conditioning test at SFU.
That was actually this year, guys.
Yeah. Thanks. Round of applause. Congratulations. Can we not ignore Taylor though? Like, I feel like she's gonna be in like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Like, Loki.
I like theirs because theirs was positive and yours was kind of positive, but it was also kind of like
Shots.
insinuating that like I never pass anything.
Oh
No, girl.
no.
Yeah.
What is my neck?
Team number 1, what you got?
That feeling when you need to bust a move mid-game.
Okay, Team 2.
Well, it's a good shot of me. You sound so nervous. Okay. So Taylor has a demo of what we're trying to explain, but when you're still trying to learn that new dance move, everyone's getting down.
Board breaker or
Show us
whatever it's
what you
called.
got.
Is that what it's called?
Can we all do it?
Hey.
Oh, she's
Hey.
good.
Looks like our winner is Team 2. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you so much for joining us on our first ever episode of Caption This. We look forward to seeing you back here soon. Make sure you come out to a game.
Now, Coach Langford, the Achilles heel for your team all season long has been the third quarter. What did you say to the girls at halftime?
The Achilles heel of our team all year long has been the third quarter, so let's go out and get this done. And we went over a million things that we might see right off the bat to try to be ready for them. We think that they might want to press us a little differently. We're also ready in case they go to zone.
You shot the ball very well in the first half. What did you like about your team in the first half?
Well, I thought we did some of the things that we'd worked on this week offensively that we thought we could take advantage of, and we hit the shots to do that, so that was good. And then I thought defensively we competed pretty hard, and we took away a couple of the things we wanted to. I thought we were not good on their screen and rolls in tight, that they've got the ball back to the roller a little bit too easily, but other than that I was pretty pleased.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Yeah, thank you.
As we take a look at the stats on the screen now, both teams had the same number of shots in the game. Simon Fraser shot 53% from the field and was 5 of 9 on three-pointers. To me, that is the big difference in this contest, and that is what has given Simon Fraser the 13-point halftime lead. Everything else is a push statistically. So Simon Fraser did everything they needed to do in the first half. All they need to do now is to keep it up here in the third quarter. That will give them a chance to win this game. And Simon Fraser is fighting for its playoff life. It is one win behind the Vikings. It needs to win today to equal the Vikings. And then wait and see what happens with Western and Concordia later this week. And the Vikings will play on Saturday. Now, if all four teams end up with the same record, which is possible, it will go to a tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is record against each other, with whatever number of teams are in the tiebreaker situation. So if it's 3 teams in the tie, then it'll be records against the other teams that are tied. We are getting ready to start the second half. Simon Fraser has Jackson, Sang, Drynan, Jones, and Swant. Those were the starters who started the game for Simon Fraser. The Vikings counter with the starters who started the game for them as well. Simon Fraser will have the ball on the offense. Now Sang saw limited action because she picked up 2 quick personal fouls in the first quarter. Jones gives up her dribble, looks for Jackson underneath. It's intercepted by Schwecke, but she steps out of bounds, so that is a good break for Simon Fraser. They will get a new 30 seconds on the shot clock and will reset the offense. Jones, 3-pointer, nails it! Jessica Jones nails the 3 for Simon Fraser to give them a 16-point lead. That needs to happen for Simon Fraser. Continue the hot shooting here in the third quarter. Iwami drives to her right, goes underneath, and it goes off the hand of Taylor Drynan and out of bounds with 18 seconds on the shot clock. So Iwami will inbound. Gives it to Schwecke. Now Iwani along the perimeter. Schwecke fighting for position underneath against Jackson and gets a wide open look after using her body to create the space. Drynan. Jones being guarded by Iwami. Goes underneath for Swant, who is cutting, and it's intercepted, and back come the Vikings. Iwani lost control of the ball. It was grabbed by Jackson. We have a whistle and possession in favor of the Vikings. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Castaneda goes inside to Stepanovic against Swant. Back outside, 3-pointer from Bland. She nails it. Bland was quiet in the first half with no points and no shots. She nails her first. She had 2 assists in the first half. Drynan to Sang. Back to Drynan looking for Jackson. Nope, she'll go baseline, pulls up. Now Swant, 3-pointer on the outside, off the rim. Rebound is grabbed by Castaneda. They go inside now. The Vikings on the outside. Bland, another 3-pointer. Nails it. Back-to-back threes by Bland. And now suddenly it is an 8-point lead for Simon Fraser. So Simon Fraser does not want this game to get away from them here in the third quarter. Swant went baseline, put up a shot, missed, thought she was fouled, no whistle, and the Vikings come back. Bland, who's made the last 2 buckets, 3-pointers for the Vikings. Bland again on the outside. Iwami against Jones, dishes off. Now it comes back outside for a 3 by Castaneda. And a high looping rebound, and it's out of bounds. So we have a timeout on the floor, and we will take a timeout here on Clan TV. You're watching SFU Women's Basketball on Clan TV.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top-quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
We are back here in the West Gym. Simon Fraser leading 43-35 against Western Washington. The Vikings have opened the third quarter on an 8-3 run. Simon Fraser held a 13-point lead at the half, and they were outstanding in the first half, shooting the ball at over 50% from both the field and the three-point line. Iwami against Jones, drives to her left into the paint, gives it back to 15 is Hannah Stepanovic. Stepanovic now with 16 points on 8 of 10 shooting. Sang, who got into foul trouble early in this game. Swant went to give the ball back to Tia Sang, and it went out of bounds as Tia Sang went to cut for the hoop. Pass and cut. Coach Langford is telling her he wants to see them drive to the hoop, draw contact. Put some stress on the Viking defense. Now Iwami backs out for a three-pointer, nails it, and suddenly the Vikings are within 3 points, and the complexion of this game has completely changed here in the third quarter. Jackson looking for Sands cutting, now Jones against Iwami, drives to her right, pull up, jumper, nails it. So that will give a little bit of breathing room for the Clan after that basket. But the Vikings are coming on here in the third quarter. Castaneda to Iwami. Fakes the three, then goes inside to Stepanovic. She's mugged by Taylor Jackson, no call. The pass came out to 44, Anna Schwecke, and she made the short jumper. Schwecke now 9 of 11 from the field. Leads all scorers with 18 points. Around the outside. Kendall Sands drives into the paint, draws contact. Looks like that foul is going to go against 44, Schwecke. That's 2 personal fouls for Schwecke. As Tia Sang gets ready to check in for Kendall Sands, who's at the line. As we look at that drive by Sands. Drove into the contact, got the foul, and Sang checks in actually for Jessica Jones. So Sang, Drynan, Swant, Taylor Jackson, and Sands. So Drynan played all but 1 minute in the first half. Schwecke gives it to Iwami against Sang. Went for the pass, but it's picked off by Sang. Quickly come to Clan. That ball's deflected. It was headed for Sang. She gets it anyways. Looked to go inside to Schwant. And now Sang drives. Stripped of the ball by Bland. And here come the Vikings on the fast break. Bland. Looked to go inside. Pulls up. Now she does go inside. 15 is Stefanovic. Back to Bland, drives into the paint, guarded by Jackson, travels with the ball. Could have been called for a jump ball there as Jackson got her hand on it. And we have a timeout on the floor with Simon Fraser leading 46-42. We'll take a break here on Clan TV. You're watching SFU women's basketball from the West Gym.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir. I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is tradition. Because year after year, players old and new step onto the court with a unified goal to strive to be the best. It is the belief that maintaining a winning tradition is a competitive battle worth fighting for. I am Sophie Swant, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's basketball team.
Welcome back to the West Gym. We'll take a moment to thank the SFU Spirit Shop. The SFU Spirit Shop has SFU branded clothing and merchandise and is proud to support SFU athletics. It is located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. Pick up your SFU athletics swag today. Simon Fraser is on offense here, Drynan with the ball in her hands. Goes to Jackson. Swant on the low block. Now she pops out to the top as they switch. They go into the corner for Tia Sang. She puts up a 3 and nails it. Tia Sang scoring her first basket of the game to give Simon Fraser a 7-point lead. Stepanovic on the elbow. Now gives it to Iwami. She looked to drive and pass. It was cut off. And now Bland will look to do the same. Back to Iwami on the outside, being guarded by Swant. Oh, it's blocked by Swant. She got her hand on it. Nicely done, Sophie Swant, with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Coming into the game is Emma Duff, who saw limited action in the first half. Duff was 0 for 2 in 6 minutes. Claudia Hart checks in for Simon Fraser in place of Taylor Jackson. Hart will guard Anna Schwecke, who's been the offensive catalyst for the Vikings. Iwami into the paint, gives to Schwecke, and she nails her shot over Claudia Hart. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Drynan to Sands, to Hart on the outside. She'll drive against Schwecke, pulls up, and goes to Drynan on the outside. Now Kendall Sands being guarded by Iwami to Swant. Drives into the paint, puts up a shot off the glass, goes for the rebound, and it's grabbed by Iwami. Danny Iwami up to Bland. She drives into the paint, pulls up, puts a little scoop off balance shot, but the offensive rebound is grabbed by Stepanovic, and Simon Fraser finally grabs it off the miss and comes back with it. Here's Drynan, drives into the paint, looked to give it to Claudia Hart on the low block, but it was intercepted and the Vikings come back. Bland on the three-point line, goes inside. Nice pass inside to Anna Shawecki for the basket and the foul. She'll go to the free throw line, and Claudia Hart will be charged with the foul. So Shawecki now 11 of 13 from the field, 22 points. As you take a look at that shot there, drawing the foul. She is the leading scorer for the Vikings. She averages 13 points per game, so she's well above that in this one. She also grabs 7 rebounds a game. She's got 5 tonight, all in the first half. Swant, three-pointer over Rogers, that's good. So take that, Vikings, says Sophie Swant. Bland being guarded by Jones. Looking for who else inside, but it's picked off by Claudia Hart. Hart doing a good battling against Shawecki, won that one. Swant gets to Jones on the outside. There comes the 3 ball, misses. Rebound goes off of Viking and into the hands of Rogers. And finally, Danny Iwami will bring it back up court. And Vikings coach Carmen Dolfo calls for a timeout, so it's a 30-second timeout against the Vikings. So we'll take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about charter bus lines. Charter bus lines, as we look at that replay, Jones on the outside to Swant, casually puts up the 3-pointer to make the score 52-47. Our friends at Charter Bus Lines are the official motor coach of SFU Athletics, and they're proud to support SFU football and all clan teams. Charter Bus Lines is dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. Visit them at charterbuslines.com. So the Vikings on offense, their leading scorer is Anna Shawecki with 23 points. No other Viking player is in double figures. The Vikings are now shooting 47% from the game. Simon Fraser is shooting 52%. There is the turnaround layup by Shawecki. Count it. Foul is charged against Claudia Hart. Langford is up out of his chair, not happy with Claudia Hart's effort on that one. The free throw is good. And it's now a 2-point game, so the 13-point halftime lead is down to 2. Sands gets a little bailout call going against the defender. The foul called against Danny Iwami as she went for the steal. Inbounds pass is coming from Sands to Swant, misses the shot. Rebound goes to Rogers, and Swant tried to grab the ball out of Iwami's hand and knocked it out of bounds. So Danny Iwami will bring the ball up court. She has played a lot in this game, a 5'7" sophomore guard from Hawaii Pacific. In her first season with the Vikings. Rogers into the paint against Jones. Shawecki turnaround left-handed shot misses, kicks it back out to Emma Duff. She misses as well, and Jones comes back for Simon Fraser. Under 2 minutes now here in the third quarter. Swant being guarded by Rogers, puts up a 3, and Iwami grabs the rebound. Danny Iwami against Sands. 22 is Gracie Castaneda. As that ball goes into touch. And checking in is Stepanovic and Taylor Jackson for Simon Fraser. Rogers will sit down, as will Claudia Hart. Will get a bit of a breather. So Tia Sang knocks the inbound pass back into touch, and with 18 seconds on the shot clock, the Vikings will have possession. Iwami goes by Jones into the paint, left-hander misses. Jones grabs the rebound, and there's a loose ball foul. I think that one is going to go against number 23, Emma Duff. So Emma Duff with her first personal foul. And Gracie Castaneo will sit down. And Bobby Westendorf is into the game for the Vikings. She is 1 of 1 in this game with a 3-ball. Sands on the outside. Swant drives into the heart of the defense, the paint. Scores on the layup. SFU needed that. Badly, did they? Danny Iwami going against Sang. She's going to put up the 3, a left-handed 3. Misses. Jones with the rebound, and quickly come the Clan as the ball's knocked out of her hands, but she retains possession. Now it's Sang in the corner to Jones. Goes inside to Taylor. Jackson grabs it, goes up with a little scoop shot as she turned baseline, made it, count the ball, and the foul is going to go against Anna Schwecki. That'll be her 3rd personal foul. Getting set to check in for the Vikings is Nikki Corbett as we look at that replay as Jackson kind of hooked Schwecki with her elbow to get position and get the ball up. And it was an off-balance shot as she was falling, but it fell, and with 25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, she'll get a chance to make it a 3-point play, which she does. So Vikings now likely will hold for last shot. 57-50 the score in Simon Fraser's favor. Jones against Bland. Sang is guarding Iwami. They go inside, kicks back out. Now back inside to Stepanovic against Swant. And a whistle is blown as Swant is called with a holding foul. With 7 seconds on the shot clock. Into the paint goes Iwami with a left-hander, misses. And with 1.6 seconds on the shot clock, looks like Sophie Swant is called on that with a foul there. Claudia Hart will come in for Swant. Swant now with 3 fouls. Ball goes inside to Nikki Corbett, who just checked into the game, and she put up a nice little turnaround shot to give Western Washington a 5-point deficit. So, as we get set to go to break, we'll set the stage for you. The score is 57-52 for Simon Fraser against Western Washington in a must-win game for the Clan. You're watching SFU Women's Basketball live from the West Gym on Clan TV.
To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is determination, because I am surrounded by teammates who face adversity but persevere to achieve success. That persistence motivates and drives me to better myself on and off the mat. I am Peyton Smith, and I am proud to be on the SFU women's wrestling team.
We are back to live action here in the West Gym. Simon Fraser with Swant, Drynan, Sands, Jackson, and Jones in the game. Swant has 3 personal fouls. as we get set for the fourth quarter. Jackson, inside pass from Swan. She makes it on the nice roll to the basket. Love to see that. Love to see your bigs rolling to the basket. Now Vikings go inside. 25 is Nikki Corbett. Hasn't played much in this game. But she's giving Anna Shweki a break. Shweki with 3 fouls. And almost a steal there by Kendall Sands as Danny Iwami lost the handle of that ball in front of the Vikings bench. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Bland against Drynan. Drives, cuts into the middle, misses her shot. Rebound is grabbed by the Vikings. Stepanovic misses. It's kicked around in the paint and goes back outside off a Simon Fraser player and out of bounds with 23 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Corbett, draws contact against Taylor Jackson, knocks her down, scores the basket, but there's no foul called. Jessica Jones now. Swant goes inside looking for Jones. It's off of Nikki Corbett's fingers and then off of Jones' fingers and into touch as Anna Shweki comes in and Corbett will sit down, and Corbett had some very productive minutes, albeit short for the Vikings. She did her job. She's played 4 minutes and is 2 of 4 from the field. A reminder, there's only one player in this game in double figure scoring for the Vikings, and that is Anna Shweki with 26. Hannah Stepanovic called with the offensive foul there. She is the next highest scoring Viking with 9 points on 4 of 9 shooting. For Simon Fraser, 2 players in double figures. Taylor Jackson with 13. Sophie Swant with 15. Jackson with a shot. Beautiful. Score it. Simon Fraser with the 2-point jumper. 7-point lead for the Clan, largest here of the fourth quarter. Stepanovic with a rolling shot to the basket, grabbed by Jackson. Swant now to Jones. Under 8 minutes to go in the regulation time here in the fourth quarter. Back to Swant, looking for a handoff. Nope. Now to Drynan on the outside. To Jones, looks to go 3. Nope. Drives to Drynan outside for a 3-pointer. Nails it. Give the assist to Jessica Jones as Drynan nailed that one from the corner. And we have an injured Viking on the play. It looks like it's Lexi Bland, the 5'6" guard from Ellensburg, Washington. She's got a bit of a limp as she comes off the floor. Coming into the game is Bobby Westendorf, who played 3 minutes in the first half. Iwami against Swant. Vikings on the outside now. Jackson is guarding Shweki. There's a shot from Danny Iwami. She scores it, a 3-pointer. Drynan comes back for Simon Fraser, pulls up, gives the Swant. Being guarded by Westendorf. Now it's back on the outside with Jones to Swant. Drives to her right, contact, no call. Misses off the corner of the backboard. A lot of contact in the open court there, no whistle. Under 7 minutes now in regulation time here in the fourth quarter. Danny Iwami driving, looks for an inside pass, deflected and grabbed by Jones. And there's a foul called on Jessica Jones. So Jessica Jones had the ball but was called with a pushing foul. And Simon Fraser coach Bruce Langford not impressed with that bit of officiating. There's a 3 ball that goes up, and it's good by Emma Duff. So Emma Duff with her first basket of the game, and it's a big one. She's now 1 of 4 from the field. And there's a foul against Danny Iwami against Taylor Drynan, excuse me. Tia Sang comes in. Jessica Jones sits for Simon Fraser. Now Sophie Swant drives, kicks out to Jackson. On the outside to Sang. Now Swant drives into the paint, puts up a right-hander, misses, and the rebound is grabbed by Gracie Castaneda. 23 is Emma Duff. She gives it out to Shweki. Now it's a reset on the offense with Iwami driving, looking, loses control against Drynan. She's calling for a screen at high, put up the 3-point shot and nails it. Nice little bit of basketball strategy there by Danny Iwami to cut the lead to 64-63. I have a feeling this one's going to go all the way to the buzzer. Drynan on the outside puts up a 3-pointer. Boom! Taylor Drynan answers back with a 3-pointer of her own. Drynan has played all but 1 minute of the first half. She's played all but, one minute of this game. And that was in the first half. She sat down. Got some contact and a whistle on the baseline. As coming in for the Vikings is Hannah Stepanovic. She has 9 points in this game on 4 of 10 shooting. Shweki is being guarded on the low block by Taylor Jackson. Now it's Stepanovic against Swant. 3-pointer by Iwami, misses, and Drynan grabs the rebound. So Danny Iwami is 3 of 6 from 3-point range and 3 of 10 from the field. Drynan, Swant at the top, looking for Jackson underneath, back to Drynan, drives into the paint, pulls up, gives it to Kendall Sands, drives into the paint, little handoff to Jackson for a jumper, and that's good. No, Simon Fraser did a great job of sharing the ball and finding the extra passes. Love to see that if you're a basketball coach from your team in the fourth quarter. There's the drive by Gracie Castaneda, and she makes the basket, draws the foul, and that is going to go against Sophie Swant. So Sophie Swant now with 4 personal fouls. And we have a media timeout on the floor, so we will take a break. The score, Simon Fraser University leading Western Washington 69-65. You're watching to SFU women's basketball on Clan TV.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
As we take a look at the 3-point shot by Taylor Drynan, wide open 3, she nails it, and Taylor Drynan now is 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 on 3-pointers. She has 14 points and 4 assists. The offensive catalyst for the Clan. She gets everything going. And the free throw by Gracie Castaneda is good. She now has 5 points in this game. Drynan to Tia Sang. To Claudia Hart. Back to Drynan, goes inside to Jackson, wide open, great cut by Taylor Jackson, and Taylor Drynan found her all the way. Beautiful offensive possession there by Simon Fraser. Now the Vikings, how do they answer? Castaneda against Hart. Finds Bland in the paint, drives, goes up into contact, didn't get the shot off, but got the foul. And that's going to go against Taylor Jackson. And that's her second personal foul. So take a look at the replay. They go inside to Taylor Jackson. Great roll and cut to the hoop by Taylor Jackson. She learned that at Brookswood Secondary School. Bland makes her first free throw. Bland is a 68% free throw shooter and misses the second. Rebound is grabbed by Stepanovic, gives the handoff inside to Emma Duff, who converts, and instead of one free throw, they get 2 points from the basket. Now it is a 2-point game, 71-69 with 3.5 minutes to go. Drynan looking to set things up offensively. Goes to Claudia Hart. A little bit of mix-up there on the outside between Sang and Hart. Now it's Jones to Sang. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Puts up a three-pointer and nails it. Tia Sang was a hero in the overtime win against Central Washington. She now has 6 points here in this contest. She is 2 of 2 on threes. Emma Duff being guarded by Jones. Castaneda against Sang, drives, goes baseline, gets free, and puts up a little right-handed shot. She worked her way to the baseline and found the open lane. Taylor Drynan. With the ball, the handoff, drives in the paint, kicks it to Jackson, now to Jones. 15 seconds on the shot clock, 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Jones to Hart. Back to Jones, looking for something, 7 seconds, to Drynan, drives, baseline, cuts it in the middle, puts up a shot and is fouled by Bland. Looks like Bland fouled her, and Stepanovic was going for the block and probably would have had it if there was no foul called. Drynan goes to the free throw line. She nails the first shot. Drynan, an 87% free throw shooter. As you look at, it was Bland who got the ball and the arm on that replay. So the 87% free throw shooter makes both, and Taylor Drynan now has 16 points in this game. Here's the shot and missed by the Vikings. Jackson with the rebound to Drynan. She had Hart racing the length of the floor but couldn't find her, didn't want to risk the turnover in a 5-point contest. I think that was a great decision by Taylor Drynan, as the clock is your ally in this game with a 6-point lead, and we're under 2 minutes now. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Simon Fraser using all the clock. I think that's because it's great defense by the Vikings. Jones, little scoop shot on an off-balance layup, makes it, gives Simon Fraser the basket now with minute 43 to go. Simon Fraser out in front, 78-71. 3 by Iwami misses. Rebound to Stepanovic in the paint, and she is grabbed by 33 as Jessica Jones. So Jones draws the foul. As we look at the replay, actually, we won't look at the replay as we have a timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. So we will take a break here as we look at the replay. Jessica Jones driving, lots of contact. Look at that as she's mugged by 23 Emma Duff and puts up the shot. There was no foul on that call and that basket. As you see, Duff almost grabbed her as she drove the lane. So Simon Fraser out in front, 78-71 in a must-win game for the Clan. Just a reminder that Simon Fraser will have one more home game after this one, and that game is on Thursday here in the West Gym against Montana State University Billings. And that game is a 7 p.m. tip-off. That game will also be a must-win game for Simon Fraser. They have to win out to have a chance at the playoffs. Now, if there is a tie, which is possible between 4 teams for that 6th and final Great Northwest Athletic Conference playoff spot, the tiebreaker will be head-to-head against the teams that are tied. If the teams that are tied and it's not solved by the first tiebreaker, the second tiebreaker is record against teams with above 750 or 750 records. And that one would not favor Simon Fraser. The inbound pass is knocked out of bounds by Tia Sang. Sang is guarding Danny Iwami. She is one of their top 3-point shooters. She drives into the paint, gives it to Shweki for a little jumper, and Shweki nails that. Shweki now with 26 points. As here comes the full court pressure by the Vikings. Goes to Sands in the middle. It's turned over. Danny Iwami with the 3 misses. Rebound grabbed by Stepanovic. He goes up with it, draws contact, and the foul. So Vikings now going to have possession of the ball and a chance to take 2 free throws here. Hannah Stepanovic at the line. 72% free throw shooter, makes her first. That'll bring the score down to 78-74 with 1:12 to play. Here comes the second free throw by Hannah Stepanovic, who is 2 of 2 in this game with 10 points and now 11 points. The pressure will come again from the Vikings. Swant gives it to Sang. Gives it to Swant, to Taylor Dryden, to Jones in the corner for the 3. Wide open, misses. Didn't use up the clock there. And here come the Vikings quickly back the floor and driving into the paint and drawing contact is Gracie Castaneda. Went in the paint. We've got a 3-point Simon Fraser lead. We have a foul charged against Jessica Jones. We have 2 shots at the free throw line for Gracie Castaneda. Now Castaneda is a 78% free throw shooter, and this game and momentum has quickly changed in the favor of the Vikings with their full court pressure. First one is good. And she nails the second one as well. Here comes the pressure. SFU coach Bruce Langford is going to call a timeout here, a 30-second timeout. And he's calling that timeout in order to advance the ball to midcourt to avoid the full court pressure by the Vikings. So a bit of a strategic coaching move by Simon Fraser's Bruce Langford. He did not like what he saw in those last 2 possessions in SFU scrambling to try and get the ball up and over half court in the 10 seconds that's allotted. So we have a 1-point game, 78-71 is the score. Simon Fraser in front. They have possession of the ball. Simon Fraser will bring Sophie Swant, Kayla Jackson, Tia Sang, Jessica Jones, and Taylor Dryden onto the floor. Now Swant has 4 personal fouls. She's the only one in foul trouble. Dryden now. 30 seconds on the shot clock. To Tia Sang in the corner. She almost loses it. She's pinned in the corner, calls a timeout. So with 23 seconds on the shot clock, Tia Sang calls the 30-second timeout in order to retain possession, as she was concerned she was going to fall out of bounds. So it's not what Langford wanted on that, coming out of that timeout. But the good news is she did not give up possession of the ball. A turnover in that instant would have been a disaster for Simon Fraser. now they will have a chance to inbound from the corner. Not an ideal position to be inbounding from, but the Clan will have plays for this situation. Jones gives it to Swant, baseline, double teamed, back out to Jones. She'll dribble it out of trouble. Dryden now, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dribbling around, gets a high screen against Iwami. Now under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jackson is fighting for position underneath against Anna Shweki, and it looks like Anna Shweki is going to be called for a foul off the ball. She was being physical and moving Taylor Jackson out of position. You can make contact in the paint. You cannot move the person out of their position, otherwise it's a foul. The big news there is a 30-second shot clock for Simon Fraser, and there's almost identical shot clock and game clock. The Vikings have to foul. Danny Iwami does, and Bruce Langford is furious with Sophie Swant because he saw an emotional reaction to that foul. Simon Fraser's in the bonus. Swant will go to the line. Swant is a 91% free throw shooter. Swant misses the first shot. So 23 seconds on the game clock. Jessica Jones, Taylor Dryden, Sang, Jackson, and Swant. Swant misses the second one as well. And there's a battle underneath between Taylor Jackson and Hannah Stepanovic. The foul is going against Taylor Jackson. What a turn of events for Simon Fraser. So Swant, a 91% free throw shooter, misses both free throws. Just to give you perspective, she has made 103 of 113 free throws this season. Swant is now 2 of 4 in this game from the free throw line. So the Vikings are also in the bonus, and the Vikings will go to the line. They will have 2 chances to make this a 1-point lead. Simon Fraser will get the ball and will have a chance to either go for a tie or a win, depending on what transpires here on the free throws. My correction there is no foul underneath on Taylor Jackson. It is a timeout called by the Viking bench. So scratch all of that. It is a 78-77 lead for Simon Fraser. The Vikings will have possession of the ball and the chance to go for the game-winning shot. So coming into the game for the Vikings, they have Hannah Stepanovic, they have Danny Iwami, the three-point shooter, they have 22 is Gracie Castaneda, they have Bland, and they have Anna Shweki. Bland with the ball against Dryden. She will run down the clock. They will go for last shot, it looks like. Gracie Castaneda driving against Jones. Drives into the paint, puts up a shot, blocked by Taylor Jackson, gives the ball to Jones, and she's fouled by Stepanovic. Wow. Taylor Jackson, who comes up with an amazing block underneath, moves her feet as you see on the replay, gets it with her right arm and strips her of the ball, grabs it, and then what a heads-up play. Gives it to Jessica Jones to run some more clock, and Jones will go to the line. 2.1 seconds on the clock, and Jessica Jones misses her first shot. Jones, a 62% free throw shooter. Jones nails her second. So it is 79-77 for Simon Fraser. The Vikings call timeout. That will advance the ball to midcourt. They will have 2.1 seconds on the clock to get off a shot. Checking in for the Vikings is Nikki Corbett. As we look at the replay, There's Castaneda driving to her left, putting up the shot, and Taylor Jackson with a huge block for Simon Fraser. Jones makes one of 2 free throws to give Simon Fraser the 2-point lead. But the Vikings will have a chance to go for either the tie or the win. Their top 3-point shooters for the Vikings are Danny Iwami, who's a 35% 3-point shooter, Lexi Bland, a 36% shooter. Those are the top ones on the floor. Inbound pass goes to Shweki. She gives it to Corbett. Underneath, misses the shot at the buzzer, and Simon Fraser will win this game 79-77. SFU does what it has to. It takes care of business. The Clan defeats the Vikings and moves into a tie for the 6th and final playoff spot in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. Both the Clan and Vikings tied in 6th spot with 8-11 records, and Simon Fraser will face another must-win game Thursday night here in the West Gym when they face the Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets. What a game for Simon Fraser. They force a difficult shot underneath by Nikki Corbett on the pass in the paint from Anna Shweki, and Simon Fraser pulls one out just in the nick of time. A 2-point victory. Top scorers for Simon Fraser were Taylor Jackson with 19 points and Taylor Dryden with 16 points for Simon Fraser. And we're going to see if we can get Taylor Jackson to come and talk with us post-game. Taylor, tell us about those final moments there in the 4th quarter.
Oh my gosh, it was really stressful, but I think in those moments you have a decision. You say, you know what, it's tough, and we know what we have to do, and we can either do it or we can get nervous. And I think being a young team, often we get nervous because we haven't been in those situations before, and we knew this game was super duper important when it comes to the rest of our season, and we kind of just put everything out there and decided, you know what, it's time for us to just buck up and play like we know we can and stay composed and play like a mature team. And in those moments, I think we did a really good job of completing all the tasks that we were given in those last few moments. I mean, it would have been easier if we made some free throws, but that's just how it goes. That's the game. It's ups and downs, and you can never guarantee shots like that, right? So really, really nice to see all of us communicate out there. And we just said, you know what, this last 23 seconds has to be the best defense we've ever played. And we went out there and we played with pride, and we worked really hard and put everything on the line, and I'm really, really proud of my team.
It was an excellent game for Simon Fraser. A great first half, a little bit of lull in the 3rd quarter, and you responded big in the 4th quarter. My next question for you is this. You face a must-win game Thursday here at home in the West Gym. Can you come back with that same effort and that same drive that you had today?
I think we're going to come back with more. I think when we're faced with a challenge like today, there's obviously a little bit of fear in the back of our mind, but we took the bull by the horns and we conquered it, and I think that gives us confidence. And now we know, we're capable of these big challenges, and I think that's confidence that's really going to help us in our game on Thursday. So as exciting as this is, we got to get on to the next one and start preparing for Montana on Thursday.
Excellent.
Thank you
good
very
luck.
much.
Good luck, Taylor, and to your teammates on Thursday night in Simon Fraser's final home game of the season. A Great Northwest Conference, Athletic Conference playoff berth on the line. Simon Fraser needs to win, and then they will be watching the scoreboard on Saturday to see what transpires with the Vikings and their game with MSUB. So we'll wrap it up here from the West Gym. Before we go, I will tell you this. Simon Fraser had 4 players in double-figure scoring. Taylor Jackson, who you just heard from, with 19 points on 8 of 9 shooting. She also grabbed 5 rebounds. Taylor Dryden with 16 points on 5 of 6 field goal shooting. Sophie Swant had 15 points, and Jessica Jones 10 for Simon Fraser. So as you heard, a great team effort by the Clan. So we will wrap it up here from the West Gym. Simon Fraser takes down the Western Washington University Vikings 79-77. That's it for us here on Clan TV. Good night, and we'll see you again on Thursday evening.